Anchorage for tonight that I'm very happy with, and then my next goal is to get us a marina in Sarasota for tomorrow night, because I don't want to wait out gale force winds at an anchorage. But you know, if we get a protected one, that might be okay. But I'm hoping we can find a marina. But it's close to Christmas. A lot of people, what they do is that they put their boats in a marina and leave it there for 2 weeks up to a month, and they a little channel down there, and then they go home for Christmas. And we are not. We're not going home for Christmas. So I don't know why I'm crying about that. I knew the whole time we weren't going home for Christmas. But I miss Seal and I miss Stephen. We're in Tarpon Springs on the Sponge Dock area. We're eating at a Greek restaurant. It's known for its Greek community here in Tarpon Springs, and they're sponge divers. So I've got my 2 margaritas and I'm ready for my evening. I usually don't have 2 margaritas sitting in front of me, but it was 2 for 1 that night, so I had 2 margaritas.
I didn't have one. I just had the Greek spaghetti, and it was really good. Well, this is the dock that goes along one side of the street. One side is restaurants and bakeries and T-shirt shops, and the other side is all the shrimp boats lined up. They're all different.
Sponge boats.
Sponge boats. The sponge divers boats, and they're all like one side of the street. They're all different shapes and sizes, and they were all decorated for Christmas. It was it's a nice little area. This is the sponge exchange. This is where the divers come in and sell their sponges to these guys, and they process them and sell them. And they have like a little courtyard here with bars, and it's pretty cool. Here's the bakery in Tarpon Springs. Quite a bit of pastries.
One of the days that we were in the Tarpon Springs area, we decided to go sightseeing, and we went down to the Tampa, St. Petersburg area. This was the Dolly Museum in St. Petersburg, but they really didn't want us taking any pictures inside. But we headed to the aquarium in Tampa,
which was just down the street, and it was very very nice. I love aquariums. So we just looked around, saw some redfish.
and I finally was able to see turtles. I hadn't seen turtles before.
And this guy was just tormenting these bait fish the whole time we were there. He would just get them schooled up and then go through them and swirl them around. I guess if you're stuck in a fish tank, you get bored.
Here's spadefish, and that's a big sheephead. I think there's a big grouper in the back down there. I remember when I was a kid, I was probably 10 or 11 years old. We went offshore fishing And when that boat pulled up to an oil rig off the coast of Louisiana somewhere, I don't remember, I have no idea where, there were thousands of these fish swimming around the oil rig. And the water was perfectly clear, and it was the middle of the day, and you could see down in the water, and it was like an aquarium. And I will never forget how it was just unbelievable that you were seeing the ocean like that. Just spade fish and sheephead. And then when we started offshore fishing, you know, many years later, it would be less and less and less and less spade fish around the rigs. It just looked deader and deader. And I found out later that there were so many red snapper that they were eating all the baby spade fish and all the immature fish, because they put the redfish under protection, and the numbers exploded and wiped out the balance of the ecosystem.
The aquarium also had some enclosures with other animals. So these are ringtail lemurs. And then there's a pool with otter that was showing off and doing tricks for the people watching.
He seemed kind of well fed to me. He looks a little chubby for an otter. And then we went down the street again, and there was a history museum which had a display of Indians, Native Americans in Florida, and they also had like a treasure seekers pirate
stuff,
wing stuff. That was cool.
Very interesting. It was the history of the Tampa Bay area. Okay, so it's like 22 feet, so I'm happy. So we're gonna go under this bridge. We only need, oh, what do you tell me? Like 16 feet, I think. But right there's the marker that tells you how deep it is. So it's about 22, or how high it is, I'm sorry, because the water. So we're gonna go under the bridge. There's our things we have to worry about hitting that are not hitting. So we're good. So if you call for a bridge to open and you didn't actually need them to open, they are not happy. What is it? Oh, it's a Holiday Inn. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this is the Holiday Inn. They have a little marina. And they have all their Christmas wreaths out, looks like. And all these rooms that are overlooking the ICW. Because I've seen that there's marinas that are hotel marinas, but we haven't, I haven't called any of those. And now I know what they're talking about. Oh, there's a little houseboat, look at that. They have like a picket fence all the way around all their floors. Oh, and they've got a Santa. And oh, and they've got nutcrackers. That's pretty cool. So you have to be careful, like you can't, there's like lots of minimum wake and no wake zones. We've been through a lot of manatee zones. I did finally see some manatees. I went to a manatee refuge, so I actually saw them there. But there were some from the wild. They opened up gates and they're able to use the spring in that place. That was Homosassis State Park. Homosassis Springs State Park. So I truly suggest that place. It was very cool. So I guess this is one that I know, I shouldn't say I guess, this is one of the barrier islands. So the intercoastal goes between the barrier islands and the mainland. And like where we got fuel was Clearwater Beach. So it was on a barrier island. But we are past that now. I'm not sure where we're at. I'd have to check my phone. So we're going at a nice speed, about 8 miles per hour, which is, I guess, about 7 knots. I know most people on the loop do everything in knots, but we were getting confused as to how fast it was going and how many miles we were traveling and things like that. So we decided just to change everything to miles per hour. So we're going about 8. We're fluctuating between 7.5 and 8.5 miles per hour. So it's like 6.5 to 7 knots. We like this speed because we save a lot of fuel. I'm sitting on the front of the boat. I haven't sat up here in a while, but I like it up here. Usually I sit up here when we're in the wilderness and we are, you know, going through and through like the Atchafalaya swamp and all of that. I sat up here some, but this is very cool too. I have not seen any other looper boats out today. What most days you either see them, or I've been on the Nebo app and you can see people traveling, and nobody's traveling today but us. And so this morning I was like, maybe this means something. But I really think it's because it's the holiday season and people are finding a place to stay. But we'll see. We'll see. My goal is still to make it to the Bahamas. And so we just need to truck on down to go across. We're going to cross the Okeechobee waterway, which cuts completely across the southern part of Florida. We are not going all the way down to the Keys. I'm sure we've said that before, but we're not going all the way down to the Keys. That was what we decided. We'd rather go to the Bahamas than go to the Keys. And we're trying to get south because of the cold front coming through. In Houston, which is where we're from, they said on Friday it's going to be like 16 degrees is what they're planning for. It's not that cold here that I've seen. I've seen 45s, but like they're predicting 45 degrees, but we're thinking we need to get further south. So we're hoping Sarasota is far enough south that we're not going to have to worry about too cold. And by staying in a marina, the problem is being on anchor and it being cold, because then you need to run the generator to use the heater. Well, we can't run the generator all night. We can only, you know, warm up. So, but if you stay in a marina, you're on shore power, and then you get to run your heater all night long. So that's one reason I'd like to be in a marina. But we stayed at the marina in Tarpon Springs 9 days, and I'm ready to be on anchor again. I really enjoy anchor. And there's a boat coming towards us up there. I don't know if y'all can see it. When I'm driving, get further to the right than Chris does, but he'll adjust. But this is a little fishing boat coming up, so they're maneuverable and they're able to to move around. All right, so we are heading to an anchorage tonight, close to the mouth of Tampa Bay. It looks like a really good anchorage. Ooh, that's pretty. We are going down the ICW, and it is shallow outside of here. Very, very small channel to go through. We have it's been a long day. I was nervous today. We did stop to get fuel and a pump out and water, which we were getting very concerned about all three of those things, but we stopped at Clearwater Beach Marina, Municipal Marina, and they were wonderful. So when we come back around the second time through, I think I want to stay there. They were very nice, and it was just a very pretty marina. So I'm excited to anchor out tonight, but there is now a gale force warning for tomorrow night. I think the cold front is coming through, is my understanding, and we are almost at Christmas. So today's the 21st, I believe, of December, and on tomorrow night, they said today's Wednesday, and they said Thursday night is going to be the gale force winds, and it's going to go through Friday night. So I am hoping to get a marina in Sarasota. So that's my next the next thing on my agenda. I found us an anchorage for tonight that I'm very happy with, and then my next goal is to get us a marina in Sarasota for tomorrow night, because I don't want to wait out gale force winds at an anchorage. But you know, if we get a protected one, that might be okay, but I'm hoping we can find a marina. But it's close to Christmas. A lot of people, what they do is that they put their boats in a marina and leave it there for 2 weeks up to a month, and they a little channel down there, and then they go home for Christmas. And we're not going home for Christmas. So I don't know why I'm crying about that. I knew the whole time we weren't going home for Christmas, but I miss Seal, and I miss Stephen, and I miss Bill, my Uncle Bill, but it'll be okay. They've got plans. I'm happy for them, and we just have to find a place to be, and maybe we'll travel on Christmas Day. I don't know. We talked about, at the last minute last night, we were talking about, do we want to fly home, but no, it's okay. I don't want to. We spent the night in St. Pete's Beach, and then we headed to Sarasota, and I was not able to find a marina in Sarasota, so we ended up anchoring out. This is Bird Key, which was a very protected anchorage surrounded by beautiful houses, all lit up for the Christmas season. So we had a nice anchorage. The front did blow through, and it was pretty rocky, and it got pretty cold. But we had a good Christmas. I really missed our son Zale and our nephew Stephen, but we were able to enjoy the time that we had there.
We talked to him on the phone, and everything was nice. It was very pretty there. But
it did get very cold. But this was Florida, and I still have my bathing suit on underneath all those clothes. Join us next week as we travel to Punta Gorda and on to Fort Myers.